Good look at the slightly swelling right eye of Pernell Whitaker. The mouse under De La Hoya's right eye has not yet been a problem for him since he incurred that as the result of the headbutt earlier in the fight. In round 6, 12 of Whitaker's 19 connected punches were jabs. De La Hoya landing many more power shots. Let's check in one more time with Harold Letterman. How do you have it halfway through?
Jim, I got it very close. 3 rounds apiece, 57, 56. Oscar De La Hoya, based on the 1 point that referee Millslang took away on that. Really, I don't. It's a bad rule, but it was the accidental headbutt.
I agree with you, Harold. It was an accidental headbutt, but it was below the eye. It did no serious damage and has not affected the
Larry,
fight.
let me explain it. The president of the WBC, Jose Suleiman, insists that if a guy gets an accidental headbutt, he has to even it out somehow or another. So he takes a point from the uncut fighter. That's his justification for it. I don't believe it's the fair thing to do. An accident is an accident.
I think if the cut is in a place where it may show up to be something in the future, a point should be taken. But if it's not, then I think the fight should be left alone.
Another thing that sometimes happens between southpaws and conventional fighters when they get their feet tangled up. Now Whitaker completely turns his back on De La Hoya as De La Hoya chases him with right-hand power shots. Pernell goes back to the jab.
De La Hoya has to make sure that he doesn't get frustrated and over anxious right here at this point. This is the type of tactic that can make him get frustrated and get him out of his head. Whitaker is used to this type of stuff.
More and more, Whitaker seems to be loading up and trying to land one big left-hand shot, which could change things in the bout.
A good body shot by Whitaker.
Excellent body punch, one of his best in several rounds.
Yeah. The fight would look better for Whitaker in the later round.
Straight right hand by De La Hoya stops Whitaker's progress there.
Roy, do you see any age showing on Whitaker?
Just in some of his punches sometimes. He's just a little bit wider than he was in his younger days, but not much. But everybody's going to show a little bit of age.
By keeping his distance, as De La Hoya does,
De La Hoya has the nosebleed right now.
He misses the chance to try to use his greater size to push Whitaker around, knock him off balance, try to get into his head with a little manhandling. Lands a long right hand there.
Remember tonight, though, Whitaker is the heavier of the two fighters right now.
De La Hoya with a trickle of blood out of the right nostril. Product of Pernell Whitaker's jab. And De La Hoya smiling at Whitaker and offering a physical barb as he goes back to his corner.
The fighters are getting a little closer to one another now, and we should start looking for some bigger shots to be landed. Another thing I noticed, Whitaker is not picking that right foot up nearly as much as he used to do tonight.
Punch that, numbers through round 7. Scorer's nightmare. Whitaker landing more punches and landing at a higher percentage rate. De La Hoya with a huge edge in power shots, landing 85 hooks and crosses and uppercuts to only 36 for Whitaker. What do you like? More punches or harder punches?
I can't say that I've seen that many hard punches. I got to disagree with the numbers there. There you saw De La Hoya slip on that canvas, which we pointed out earlier was a little slippery. I haven't seen him land 85 hard punches, certainly not cleanly.
You don't land that kind of punches on Pernell Whitaker.
De La Hoya hasn't used the left jab all that much since the second or third round. Goes back to it momentarily there.
Good right hand counter by De La Hoya.
Excellent. One thing that strikes me, if Whitaker is going to win a decision against De La Hoya and outbox him, he's got to be busier. And to me, he does not look markedly busier than the younger fighter at this point.
Well, he can't just go in there and be busy against De La Hoya. De La Hoya is too big of a puncher for that. He has to be very economical in what he does. He knows that.
Whitaker lamenting the missed left, and De La Hoya coming forward to say, take a couple of right hands to go with that.
And De La Hoya was caught with a right hook coming in just then himself. Both fighters, I think, are fighting a very smart fight.
Got a left hook in. Not easy to do. Whitaker smiles. Can almost guarantee you that means that thudding left hook did some business.
You know it's not a great fight when the fighters have time to smile after they land their punches.
It's still a tactical battle. That punch blocked by De La Hoya. Whitaker pawing with the jab. Straight right hands as Oscar tries to flurry again in the closing seconds of the round. Whitaker lands the last punch.
All together in Whitaker's corner, in which one of his handlers said, you're behind in this fight. And Whitaker, who I believe thinks he was ahead, is saying, well, then I'm going to lose. Meaning that if he's got to do something else except what he's doing, he doesn't know if he can do it.
Right. You can't get into a verbal battle in the corner. You have to stay out of that. You just have to tell him what he's doing wrong and try to tell him, okay, you may be behind. You can't just say you're losing. The guy doesn't want to hear that, and he's out there fighting his heart out.
You're right, Roy.
Well, it's a very talkative corner. They've been together a long time, and Pernell has very special relationships with both Ronnie Shields and Lou Duva. So I'm sure they would say to you, we can do our business our way. The one criticism I would have, you saw the punch stat numbers that show that only in one round in the fight has Whitaker thrown as many as 60 punches. I don't think he can beat De La Hoya throwing 44 punches a round.
Yeah, but how many is De La Hoya throwing?
About 40 or 44.
Yeah, but how many is he landing?
Don't spin. Come on, get that spin. Come on, let's go.
How many is he landing, though, Chip?
He's landing fewer than Pernell.
There you go. So
But his landed punches have more effect.
Well, you think.
We shall see. Like I said, scorer's nightmare.
You're right, because you can't really tell what
We could
you
see
like.
three wildly different scorecards at the end of this fight.
Because it's according to what you like. You're right there. That's what makes boxing so different.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya may win this fight, but you can't say that his introduction into the welterweight division has been a huge success so far.
Well, he picked the toughest fight he could possibly pick to enter the division.
You're right there.
Goes back to the southpaw stance, does De La Hoya.
I have to even argue that.
That could have been scored a knockdown.
It is a knockdown. It is a knockdown.
It is a knockdown.
Yeah, that is a
Knockdown, De La Hoya's knee touching the canvas, and that will affect the scorecards too.
So that gets back that point taken away from Whitaker if we have a two-point round.
And De La Hoya at this moment may be regretting having gone to the southpaw stance as he wound up losing his balance and went down from a very light blow.
It's like a trick play in football. What's the point? You do what you do best, especially if you think you're younger and you're stronger.
Whitaker lefts to the body, De La Hoya rights upstairs. De La Hoya lands a left. Goes in and attacks Whitaker's body, and